Good morning, good morning. Welcome to Coffee Time with Coach Jah. I'm your host, Coach Jah, in the building. You know what it is. It's early. It's Monday morning. I got my cup ready. Get you a cup, something warm to drink, especially now. Everybody should be drinking something warm now, at least some tea, preferably tea over coffee to help get anything that might be trying to find its way through your system. So try to drink some tea. I always start to say I drink some tea. I drink tea mostly throughout the day anyway, but first thing first, got to get some coffee. So cups raised, cups raised. Yeah, that sounds about right. That sounds about right. So Friday, as some of you know, Fridays, my Friday evenings are always booked. I do a conversation with some amazing folks, some political folks, some regular day, everyday folks, right? And we talk about race relations and what's next and how to fix things. And we're going over different videos and different movies. We're going to go back to 13. If you haven't seen 13, you need to see that. That is about the 13th Amendment. You need to see that. It's on Netflix. I think what I want to try to do is I want to do a group watching of it. Let's just watch it as a group, and then let's conversate about it, right? Let's have a movie night out, if you would, and talk about those things. So we can talk about different things. So we talk about a lot of social injustices. We talk about, redlining. We talk about gerrymandering. We talk about Jim Crow. All the things that the pipeway to prison, all the things that actually still attribute to the oppression of Black people. Teresa, good morning to you. And we talk about that in the group. And it gets very interesting because there are people from all walks of life, right? People who are Arthur, good morning to you. I can't read everything right there. I'm sorry, I can't see your name, but good morning to you. We talk about people who, how they continuously oppress Black and poor people in this country in particular. But so I got to call one of my buddies, a real good friend of mine now that I met him. His name is Jason, and Jason, he runs the group. And Jason called me up. Well, he sent me a text. And so I know he was texting to make sure I was going to be in the meeting because, I'll be forgetting stuff. And he sends me this text, and he's like, hey, dude, what you doing, man? It'd be awesome if you got an MLK poem to go with tonight's, tonight's lecture or whatever. And I was like, man, I probably got something in the repertoire always. I always have something ready, right? There's always something on deck. I don't care what the situation is. I can find a poem in there that can, that's purposely for whatever's happening. And so I really didn't have anything that I wanted to actually read or share in that moment. I didn't have anything that said MLK. I've not written a Martin Luther King Jr. poem. And I don't know why. I think I did write something about Selma, but I didn't write one in particular about Martin Luther King Jr. And I don't have a reason why. I only write what I feel. So whenever I'm feeling something, that's the only way I can write it. And so him calling me on it gave me what I need to do. And I wrote this poem he called me at 5, he texted me at 5 something. And I want to say within an hour and a half, this poem was done. And I read it to my brother. I read it to Snap. And I was like, yeah, I don't know, what I'm doing. Frugal, good morning to you. But anyway, I figured it out, right? And I didn't change much of it. And there is such a fulfillment, an honor. It's a humbling moment when you read or do a poem and people receive it in a way that was unexpected. People get down and they're tearing and they're like, man, where can I get a copy? Will you send us a copy? There's such an honor in that. And sometimes I forget about it. Sometimes I don't really, because I don't expect it. I'm not saying I expect people to dislike my work, but I don't write for people to love my work. I write because that's what I do. And because that's something that I feel, right? Author, well, I'm not bringing anyone up now. I have some guests coming up. I have a guest coming up later. And what I do is I bring people up on the show who are already set to be on the show. It's kind of different in the mornings when we do open mics. That's a different story. But I am more than likely doing an open mic today. Today is going to be a pop-up open mic that I'm going to host today. So get ready for that. If you want to come back and do your open mic, that's fine. Did you have something to talk about in particular to what we're saying? I mean, I might can consider something, but that's not generally how I do this on the morning, on the tape between this hour, between 10 and 11. But don't shout on the shout way. Please stay in the feed. And what I do is I stream through YouTube and Facebook through my computer while we're on here. And what happens is we, it's usually a discussion that's going on. Sometimes I freestyle. Well, a lot of times I freestyle it. That's or however you want to say it. But it's just how it works. And I have plenty of things that I like to share with folks. Tomorrow, I'm actually going into the building, into the office space where I am the artist in residency. I haven't been able to go in. Well, I have been able to go in, but it wasn't official until we have our initial meeting and me being introduced to everyone, and that's going to happen tomorrow. Very excited about that. And all the writers and poets, I'm very excited to announce that I'm going to start a competition for you all. If you are a poet, and I'm going to take this platform and do something magical with it, and I'm going to talk about that a little later on to see how you all feel about it. But that's coming up. And there's a lot of things that's going to take place over the time that I'm going to be within this office. Darkman Blues in the building. What's good? And there's a lot that you all should you should be prepared for. You should be prepared for, because one of my guests is texting me and they're saying I'm nervous about being on my show. Don't be nervous. What I tell people all the time is the nervousness will end after you're on, because it's the way the conversation flows. It doesn't allow room for someone to be uncomfortable. I don't ask uncomfortable questions. I actually allow my guests to actually, lead their way into things. I kind of just throw the hook out there and bring you in, but it's not like a big worm on it. It's just a little something to snatch you. It's not something that's going to make you nervous or you got to be prepared for. You don't have to prepare for this. Just be ready. I got a tongue tie. This is because it's early. Darkman Blues, listen, I need you to send me a message, bro, because I want to bring you back on them. I have something that I want to do. I'm going to do something really, really special. And I'm going to have special guests that come on with the during the competitions. So, and like I said, I'm going to talk about that in a minute, so that people can understand what's going on. But it's going to be really, really dope. It's going to be really, really dope. I'm telling you. And I really can't wait, because, when you're creative, you create these ideas. Kendra, good morning to you. You create these ideas from whatever inspires them, right? And in your mind, you're saying, okay, that sounds cool. And then you put this cool thing out there, and next this cool thing is a grand thing. And I'm going to show you how that works. A little over 8 years ago, my brother and I decided this is what we're going to do. We're going to do this open mic, and we just wanted to have a place to be free, right? Place to go, get on the mic, do our poetry, do some rhymes, whatever we wanted to do. That's what the idea was. And we had no idea that we would lead to an 8-year stretch. We didn't know we would lead to, which come to think about it, because June is going to be our 8th year. I'm doing a very big celebration for that. I have some ideas in mind. I have some folks that's coming, but we'll talk about that too. But we just wanted an open mic. We just wanted to get free on the mic. We didn't know what that meant at the time, but that's just what we wanted. And here we are, performing all over, 3 books in a piece. We have some other books in. There's so much to say that has happened. I mean, to have a poetry event every week for 7 years until the pandemic came. At least once a week we were on the microphone. At least once a week. And that's outside of being booked to do something else. But I didn't see that. And I don't know that my brother Whit saw that either. I don't know if he saw that, but it happened, and it was such a great thing. And you don't know until you know. And once you see that this thing has happened, the idea of growing into a new thing becomes something so special. We did not see it coming. We did not see it coming. I know for sure I didn't see it coming. Right. And then when it happened, it was like, yo, bro, we still here, still riding, still thriving, And as a creative, you get those ideas that come without thinking about it. You just wake up and it's there. And that's what happens. You just wake up and here we are. We in this new space doing new things. And it's really, really fly. It's really dope. Like I had no idea we would be still doing this and doing it on this level. To know that I've taught some folks, I've trained some folks, I've coached some folks, I've went to competition with some folks. I don't even know how to begin with those things. How to begin to celebrate them. I mean, what is that? What exactly is that? So I don't know. I have some things that I wanted to actually read to you all today. And I think I will. I just don't know where to begin. There's so much to say, so much going on. And there's so much that I want to share, but I can't. It's so much that I want to share that I can't. I'm excited about the baby coming. I'm excited about the new books that are coming. This is what I want to say too. So Kendra, you're in here. I don't know who else is in there who was actually in the writing in the first master class. I have to complete this contract for you all before we can go forward with the book. The book is done. I have anything else to do. There's only a few people who didn't send in their poems that I'm guessing don't want to be a part of it. I've given ample time. I've sent messages and haven't sent it yet. So I don't know. But everybody that's in, Kendra, I could surely use your help if you can help me with this. I just need to round up everyone who was in the book and get them to Deacon Dean in the building. What's good? I need everybody who was in the master class, the initial one, to I need to get together and do a Zoom with you all and explain how to. We got to sign this contract, and it's not nothing really. D Librarian, good morning to you. Venus is in the building. What's good? I want to make sure that we have to sign a contract in order for it to be saying that you allow me to put this stuff in the book. And so I have to do that. And I'm gonna try to get that done today. But I want to get it done. So I want to get this book finished. I want this book out. The cover is done. The cover I like. It's looking dope. And then I need to make sure everyone's proper name and poet name is in there too. But yeah, I mean, cheers to you all because you did the work. I just was there. I just was I was just the coach. I it wasn't my writing. It was y'all writing that actually did everything. So I'm happy for that. I know it's early for AJ, but he'll be here in a minute. Let's see. I'm gonna read. I'm trying to find this particular poem that I wanted to read for y'all today. I'm so mad. I still can't find my other book. How do you lose the entire book? I have no idea, but I did. I lost the whole book. Whole book. And it really, really made me upset. I don't know how to find it. I've been searching. I've been digging. And I can't find it. And I'm really disappointed in myself because it's not something that I normally do. Normally have my stuff under control, and then to lose it today was just like, well, I didn't lose it today, but yes, the librarian, I am full of ideas, and I've learned to be in a space where you let your ideas do what they're going to do because you can't do anything about it. Yeah, I've got some voice recordings that I can't find too. Hey, I have me on for tomorrow, my birthday. Yes, Venus, you are going to be on tomorrow. You and your brother for your birthday tomorrow. I cannot wait. It's going to be super exciting. Lizette, good morning to you. It's going to be super exciting. It's going to be super exciting. I'm really excited about it. And yeah, people will get to see how entertaining you are in person because they don't know. They only see you in here. So it's going to be really great for them to see you in person. East Coast social workers in the building. Hey, I need clarification. Am I on today or tomorrow? I am. You are on schedule for tomorrow. Like Stefan said, you're scheduled on tomorrow. I'm going to see you on tomorrow. I have me scheduled for tomorrow. Yes, tomorrow, your birthday. We are celebrating your birthday on live tomorrow. So we'll be able to. I'm not going to sing because people said I can't sing. But yeah, that's what's happening. Sparkle, good morning to you. Oh, man. So I can't. I don't know. I'm just looking around here. Let me look around here. I don't know where AJ is. AJ might not have gotten up. I think AJ was on late. I was on late. So somebody just sent me a message and asked me, why was I taking off the show yesterday? I was taking the show. I couldn't make their practice, so I couldn't practice. I couldn't be on the show. So that's why I wasn't on the show last night. But the Kings came in. They did their thing. They did their thing. But that's what happened. I couldn't make the practice. I just don't have the time. So it's strange. Good morning to you. I'm not feeling any ways about it. It's just, it is what it is. I really don't have it's a busy time for me right now. And I'm in Cram Central. Okay, let me know how I can help. Appreciate you, Kendra, because I definitely need somebody to help me with just that part. Yes, my brother, I kind of hate that he was at the end, but then I'm like, okay, I understand. But he did smash it. He did kill it last night. That's one thing that I do love about Witz. I love his mindset and the way he works. Like, I agree. He did kill it last night. He did kill it. In fact, one of the best things I like about being a coach and respecting my slam is because I'm the coach. He said Cram Central. Who said that? Witz said that? I don't know. So I think that did y'all watch? I watched One Night in Miami. Did y'all watch that? One Night in Miami? Have y'all watched that? I don't know if y'all watched it. I watched it. It was a good movie. It was a good movie. So for me, my problems with a lot of these black movies and these black sitcoms and these comedy movies, comic shorts and all of that, it's different with a stand-up comedian as opposed to doing a movie that is not 100% factual. And nobody looks and read, these are based off of actual facts. No one looks at these scenes are overly dramatized for the sake of entertainment. Nobody looks at that. And what I'm saying is, so when on Barbershop, when Ice Cube wrote in the part for Cedric Entertainer, and Cedric Entertainer says, Rosa Parks ain't do nothing but sit her fat ass down. Now, an adult or a logical thinking person would know that was comedy. But somebody who's not thinking logic, you got to look at the music today. These people are not thinking logically. They're not. When you look at that, the young people who are not being taught what Rosa Parks was, and yes, she wasn't the first one. She was the one they chose to be in that position. I get that too. But the things that what it's portraying is not good. Because these kids, that's what they see. Oh, Rosa Parks, she ain't nobody. She just sat down. No, she became part of a movement, right? It's horrible. Haven't watched it yet, but I will. Yeah, strange watching. It's good to watch. I just the actual facts I don't like. Because we are black people, want our story to be true. Yeah, and the movie is A Night in Miami. It's Muhammad Ali. It's Malcolm X. It's Jim Brown and Sam Cooke. And most of the movie takes place in the hotel room. So I'm guessing that they actually got together in a hotel room there. Tiffany, good morning. One Night in Miami. Yes, One Night in Miami. It was really good. It was really good. But it made it So it makes you look at people a certain way. It makes you look at Malcolm differently. It makes you look at Ali differently, and Sam Cooke differently, and even Jim Brown. Makes you look at them differently. You know, it almost. So I want to tell y'all the story, but I don't like. Let's go. I'll go back to the movie I was talking about with Cedric Entertainer saying Rosa Parks did not sit her ass down. Let's look at Malcolm X, right? Let's look at the movie Malcolm X. They show you all the people from the ground level that was supposed to be Nation of Islam members. They showed them shooting at Malcolm. Well, Malcolm's autopsy said he was shot from an elevated position, center mass, and so we never see that in the movie. My point is, Spike Lee, this is information you have access to. You didn't put that shit in the movie. Did they not let you put it in the movie or what? Like, you didn't put that in the movie. And so now it looks like, okay, those are the people responsible for killing him, when in fact, the autopsy said the bullets that killed him came from an elevated place. So it portrays us in an image that's not freaking good. It's just not good. Look at The Godfather Harlem. And I went to the mid-season finale event in New York City, right? I actually love watching The Godfather Harlem. But it portrayed Malcolm like he was straddling the fence, like he was part gangster and he was part Muslim. It had people actually chained to radiators so they couldn't leave and go get high. Yes, the movie was wrong, The Librarian. The movie was wrong. When they make these movies, they have to draw them out so that they be entertaining. Other than that, they will be documentaries. And even documentaries have flaws, right? But they draw the movie out to make it more entertaining. I don't believe that all of those things happen the way they happen and how they happen. I don't believe it. I don't believe it. My husband and I watched that show. Which show, The Librarian? And I don't like that we get locked into, oh, this is how it was. This is how it was. It's still a device mechanism, even if there's not created for such a thing. It's still a divider. It still keeps us at bay because of those actual facts that are not clear. I tell people all the time, go look at, you got a computer in your hand all day. Go look at when they talked about Malcolm X. Godfather Harlem. I love that movie. I love that series. I do. I'm not even gonna lie to you. But I look at it from a different eye because I know a lot of truths that weren't told. Know a lot of the untruths that are there that are taking up space. You know what I mean? So it's a different thing. It's a different thing. And I get it. I get it. But what I don't like is that for some people, they're never going to get the truth of it. They're never going to get the truth of it. They're never going to hear the actual facts that took place. Instead, they're going to be stuck in the idea that, hey, this is exactly how it went down. This is exactly how it happened. And that's not true. That is so not true. So, good movie. Good movie. Good morning, Natalie, on Facebook. Listen, Natalie, if you can come on YouTube, I can read your comments on YouTube. And if I was on Facebook, if you come to my YouTube page, I can actually see your comments here. Mike in the building, what's good, bro? And if you come on YouTube, I can read all your comments and I can respond to them. I'm gonna put my stuff in here so we can have this conversation. And I can read and respond to your messages. So, like I said, we could truly know how it happened, even if we are actually there. Right. You're right, Natalie. And like I said, I don't knock a movie producer, a writer, a film writer, someone to write the film scores. You are supposed to write things that are actually entertaining and grab people. I get that. I'm not against that at all. I totally get it. But we are not in a position that we can actually fumble around with that stuff. So, Mike, we're talking about a night in Miami first. I saw that movie. I watched it last night, and I was just talking about how the actual facts in those movies don't be actual facts, and then they make them bigger so that they become more entertaining. And I don't like the Rosa Parks part in Barbershop, The Godfather of Harlem, the way they portray Malcolm X, like he's straddling the fence, like he's part gangster and part Muslim, devout Muslim. That's unacceptable. That's unacceptable. Malcolm X, when his autopsy, when they did the autopsy on his body to find out what was the cause of death, when they opened him up, they said his insides was as clean as an infant child. And we're talking about a man who was on drugs, who was an alcoholic at one point in time, who lived as everybody else lived. Okay, talking about a man who just did whatever he could to survive, who turned his entire life around. Okay, they said his internal organs were as clean as an infant child. That's how disciplined he was. So you're not going to tell me that he was that disciplined and was straddling the fence, being part gangster and part, you know what I mean? And I'm not knocking it because I watched the film. I enjoy the film. I do. I really enjoy watching The Godfather of Harlem. It's one of my favorites. But what the problem is for me is that it loses people because some people don't know the difference. They're stuck into whatever they see is what it is, and that's not actual facts. I was going to watch. Yes, watch it today, Mike. I want to do. You know, we were going to do a book club, and so didn't really have the time to do so. But I'm wondering if we could do like a instead of a book club, we can do the actual thing where we actually watching movies collectively and then have a discussion about it. Watching The Godfather of Harlem now. The Malcolm part and the Adam Clayton Powell parts are fictional. Right. They drew it out too far. And I know they had to do it for entertainment purposes. I get that. But again, at the end of the day, there are people who can't separate the two. They can't separate the two. And then that makes for another discussion. And when we don't sit down and discuss it, it changes things. And I think we need to do better. But I want to get a collective together and we do movie, right? Movie might be smart. And we could get to a collective together and we can all watch the movie together, right? Zoom or whatever, however we can do it, however it needs to be. We can all do that, then have a discussion about it. I think that would be pretty fly. And we can write about it. We can talk about it during the discussion. I think that'd be a good idea. It'd be a good idea. It'd be a good idea. And so we can really start talking about movies. What I did was the library would do, before COVID, the library was doing movie night, one movie daytime. I forgot what they called it. And we go back and we watch movies and we discuss movies. And we watch Eve's Bayou. And we watch Malcolm X. I missed that one. I didn't go to that one. But Eve's Bayou became a new movie when I got to watch it through a creative's vision instead of when I'm in my creative 100% of the way. It becomes a different movie. It changes your mindset when you hear other ideas. You look at the scenery and what they represent and how they make what they call black magic, whatever they call that, how they make voodoo and those things so evil. And it's and we forget that this is why we're still standing, because it was witch doctors and people who did medicines and practiced things spiritually that we didn't understand. That's why we still made it through slavery. And we missed that. We don't understand that. I'm not telling you to go do voodoo and all that and study. I'm not telling you to do that. What I'm saying is you don't know what it is. But they turn it into something else and we run from it because we're afraid of it. We don't know what it is. There are known associations between Powell and the Godfather, and now no known association between Malcolm X and the Godfather post. Right, Mike. Right. And I get it. I know that it was for entertainment purposes. I know that. Yes, I love Eve Bayou too, Strange. But I understand the purpose was for entertainment. I get that 100%. Again, my issue is how far do we go with entertainment to the point where it's damaging to virgin ears, if you would, right? So ears that have not been exposed to the truths yet. So if I tell you all the truth you have is in this book, but we watching this movie, the movie's gonna far supersede that book if you're not an avid reader. You understand what I'm saying? So you may never read that book, but now these pictures are stuck in your mind. I never forget when I never forget and I'm not a fan of many celebrities, right? But I don't dislike Cedric the Entertainer. I actually like his comedy. I actually like Cedric the Entertainer. I just did not like that. Why that, right? Why that part about Rosa Parks? Okay, they thought it was funny, but why that? Yes, Strange, I know you need your mug. I sent some out, but you know what you call it is closed today. You know how to get more tape. So if you purchase, don't worry about it. I got you. 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 I had to get more tape. The tape wasn't working. I had some bad tape. It wasn't working. The post office is closed, but I got you covered. It ain't no thing. If yours didn't go out already, because somebody went out, I don't remember whose is out. But if it didn't go out already, I got you. No problem. I got to go to the post office. I'm going to the office tomorrow. I got you covered. You like that idea too, Kendra? I think we should. We can do that on the Zoom, and on the Zoom we could actually do. We can watch the film, and then we have a discussion about it. And I'd like to record the Zoom, and we can post the Zoom just to have that. I think that'll be dope. And I'll do it through my Zoom, so that way nobody else have to worry about it. And I'll record it through there, and then we'll post it up on thing. And I think that'd be great. When we start the movie, watch, and what should it be? The first movie, whatever movie it is, should be one Kendra hasn't seen. That's the long list. That's funny, Mike. That's funny. But yeah, I want, and I'd like to have a lot of people come in and talk about the movie and the different movies we want to watch. Let's get a list. I'll get some people who wanted to be in the book club to come on, because I mentioned the book club, but it just doesn't have time. We must remember Cedric is a comedian, and he might have been testing material. I get that, Mike. I get that. But I would have rather him do that on the comedy stage than in the movie. And the reason being is because you remember comedians saying something as comedy. But in the movie, you don't remember. In the movie, that's a drama movie. And there was some comedy in it, but a movie that's a drama movie, we don't really we don't get past the drama part, and it becomes a real thing, and it sticks with me. It sticks with me, you know. And I'm just saying, for other people, I'm sure it's the same. Maybe not everyone, but for everybody, for other people, I'm sure it's still the same. That part of the movie was to get your attention and do what it do, get people talking. Well, Strange, I'm gonna say maybe not. And my thing is, when it comes to Ice Cube, I'm really disappointed with Ice Cube as of lately. And this is why I question what that was. I don't know that it was actually that. Maybe you could be right. I don't know. My problem is that when you wait until there are two candidates only running for president, one who is totally destroying peace in this country, and one of whom just kind of jumped in and said, okay, I'll take the lead since nobody else seems to be able to grasp it. You wait until that happens, when we have to make a change, to decide to say, we need a black agenda. My issue is we needed a black agenda before these two came into office, before they came into play. Why use your celebrity now, in that moment? So his timing is off. His judgment is off. The things he used in that video. You wrote movies, bro, that people love to watch over and over and over again. You couldn't do a better 2-3 minute segment than that. That was bullshit. And I don't think that was fair. I think that was bullshit. He should not have said nothing. You know what I'm saying? And then because you are a writer, a screenwriter at that, you have more words to use than just the black agenda. And why now? Why at that moment? Why did you do it then? You should do. And where you at now? We need to be prepared for the 2 years from now when the voting going on again. Where was he with the Georgia voting? Right? You said all that dumb shit. And where were you when it was time when the Georgia voting was going on? Right? When there was always, we got a runoff. Oh, we got to do this in Georgia. Where's your voice? You disappeared. So I don't know. Maybe he had too much blunt and weed and liquor that day, and he just felt like he had to have something. I don't know what it was with him, but he picked the wrong timing. Yes, we need a black agenda. I totally agree with that. We've been needing a black agenda. But why would you say it then? And where are you now? Or that was just a moment then. Oh, let me just grasp this moment in the spotlight. That's the shit that bothers me. AJ and I come on here Thursdays and we talk, we do poetry, and we talk about funny stuff, we laugh. We talk about this stuff. Where are, and this is why we reach out to y'all. If you know somebody who can come in and talk to us on Thursdays, bring them, send them, give them my information. We'll bring them on the show. I brought one of the councilmen from here on the show. I'm looking to bring some other folks on here from the show, from the political arena. Listen, folks, we have to be a part of this political game. We have to be a part of this political game. We have to be a part of this political game. We don't have an option. Yes, the system is corrupt. Yes, the system is broken. You're not going to change that because that's what these people have in place. So we got to fit in this shit, man. We got to fit in the system. We got to put who we need in the system. Stop saying we can't do it. We proved that. Listen, this whole entire election, they were waiting on the black vote. They wanted to count the black vote. We had to see, oh, we got to wait for all of these votes. California, Georgia, Pennsylvania, we waiting on the black vote. Oh, it's a lot of votes in there. A lot of those votes, these are the black votes coming in. Y'all don't see this? And so what's going to happen this year? Well, what's happening this year is what I should say. These folks who are planning to run, they say, oh, man, these black people came out. These black folks actually voted. It starts with local government. Absolutely. They actually voted. But here's what I'm trying to tell you all. I don't live in y'all city. I don't live in y'all state. You live there. Send messages out to people. Find out who we need to ask, who we need to send an email to. I'll send an email. Hey, listen, we got a show. We got a platform. We want to talk to the people. What you got? Put it on the table. That's what I'm doing here. That's what I'm doing here. Election, to run an election costs a lot of money. Braxton Winston is running for councilman again here. The reason why I can mention his name is because I met Braxton. I met Braxton out on the front line. I met Braxton when we did a candlelight vigil here in Charlotte. Braxton came out, recorded the whole thing. I watched Braxton get arrested for protesting. I watched Braxton marching. I watched Braxton protecting a police officer from the crowd, if you would, and not in those words, but just being a barrier between the crowd and the police officer. Amazing moment that people don't even know about. I've watched him do the work, and then he became a councilman and still was arrested several times because he was protesting the rights for our people. That's somebody who I will back. But there's a Braxton in everybody's, or similar to Braxton, right? Not the same exact, but there's a Braxton in every city. Find out who your Braxton is. What is the viewership on? I don't know, Mike. I haven't looked at. I haven't been looking at the numbers, but I think the numbers are growing. I haven't looked at them yet, though. I don't pay attention to the numbers. I just keep trying to pull. I'm never gonna have enough to be satisfied. What if Ice Cube didn't have the original idea until someone got in his ears? And that might be, Mike. But again, my issue is this. Even in that, I don't have Ice Cube's platform, right? I don't have his visions either. I don't have his following either. But even in my network, I refuse to say some shit that ain't gonna be that's non-beneficial. Something that's gonna be so off that and my timing. You know what I mean? Like you can't get a pass on that. You can't get a pass on that. Let's look at the movie that I watched last night. Look at Jim Brown's position. Look at Sam Cooke's position. They had some shit they had to come across. They had some things they had to come through. Ice Cube, if they had not done that, if it wasn't for Sidney Poitier, if it wasn't for Harry Belafonte, if it wasn't for Frank Sinatra believing in Quincy Jones, right? A lot of black entertainers wouldn't be in positions that they were in now. These people had to pay a price to get to a platform that you're in. Use that shit differently. Okay, you had to do what you had to do to get there. I get that, bro. You are forever fixed in the situation now. You are ever fixed into entertainment. Forever fixed in entertainment. Nobody can take you out of that, right? What do you do? What do you do? What do you do? Ice Cube doesn't own his platform. That's very good. That's a very good opinion. And another thing about that, brother, is just look at this too. If he doesn't own his platform, why did he choose to say that particular thing in that particular moment? I mean, it was so tender. Why would you do that? Was he forced to do it? Was he told, listen, you have to say this? He said, the black agenda, we need to basically don't support nobody who doesn't have a black agenda. We need to know your black agenda before we get behind you. I'm not even in disagreement with that. I am not in disagreement with that at all. That's not even my issue. My issue is your timing, bro. You could have presented that on the platform with whatever candidate you chose was better than the ones that were running at that time. You could have just nudged him. Hey, look here, bro. False hope is less dangerous than real hope. Yeah, absolutely. Absolutely. I think that I've said this before as well. If somebody can write down all the black celebrities, no matter the genre of art they've chosen. And Mike said Ice Cube isn't Oprah or Tyler mentally. I have issues with Oprah's stuff. She's done some amazing things. I'm not going to beat her down. That's not my job. I mean, who am I, right? But I have some issues with some things that she kind of straddled the fence with, right? There were some things I'm not here to blast folks like that, but there's some things that I straddled the fence that she straddled the fence with that I didn't like. AJ, good morning, bro. I thought you was coming on, AJ. Where you at, man? There's some things that you know, and maybe he will never reach Oprah status or Tyler Perry status. And I don't know. What I do respect about Tyler Perry is that Tyler Perry actually go and find those that, like, he found my man from a different world and gave him back, put him back into working. I love that. I love that he did that. That was great for me. He actually found my man. He was the husband of Sandra, was it? Is her name Sandra? I think. And he put him back to work. That was amazing. And I'm sure Oprah has done the same thing too. But I just was very proud of that. I was just very proud of that. You know what I mean? And Oprah started that to fade after she lost Obama's ears. Yeah. Natalie, good morning. Thanks for coming. I'd like to see. Yes, he played Alvin. Right, he played Alvin. Right. Remember, they saw him. He was working in, I want to say, Publix. No, what's the other store? Not Publix. Come on, what's the other store? Oh gosh, I can't think of the other store. Trader Joe's. He's working at Trader Joe's, and they put him on Instagram, and people laughing at him and teasing him. And Tyler Perry snatched him up and put him back to work. That's beautiful. That's black magic. Whole Foods, it was okay. That's black excellence. That's what I like to see. Jeffrey Owens, right? Sandra's husband on Cosmo, right. I applaud Tyler Perry for that. I applaud. Listen, I applaud Tyler Perry. At first, I was like, I didn't get the whole Medea cross-dressing thing. I didn't get it. But then I had to look at what it was. He brought Big Mama back. Listen, Tyler Perry is responsible for putting Big Mama back in the black household. Everybody has watched the Tyler Perry movie or play. Everybody. And we might have laughed at Medea, but that whole fixation of Medea, that character was non-existent in the black household for decades now. I'm going to be 50 in 2 years. I don't remember a Big Mama. You know what I'm saying? Like I don't remember seeing that in my late teens and early 20s and late 20s and 30s and now 40s, I don't remember seeing Big Mama in the Black community. And I thought it was, I looked at the cross-dressing thing and was like, man, I ignorantly placed my mind solely in that without grasping what he was actually doing. It was masterful. Yeah, cross-dressing goes back even further than that. Flip Wilson, yeah, goes back even further than that, because that was something that Black men, Black slaves were forced to do, even in buck breaking and things like that. They forced them into those things long time ago. And so in fact, there's some people who there's big. I'm not going to spend the whole time talking about that. I'm not going to spend time talking about that. And I definitely don't want people to think that I am making fun of that community and making a mockery of them. I don't want to play any role in that. I'm just saying, initially when my mindset went being a straight Black male and thinking that's why I went first, it's the first thing I saw before I realized what Tyler Perry was actually doing. Madea became a household name, and Madea put Big Mama back in the home. And that's the point I want to make. And we looked at it totally differently. It wasn't like it was pushing a gender-specific idea or what you should do, or it wasn't none of that. He was actually putting a character in place that was long missed within the Black home. Yes, research material, Mike. Buck breaking was a thing that, for y'all that don't know, that they did to the Black male slaves in order to do several things to those who were on the plantation. To exert power, which became something that they began to do in prison. Buck breaking, look it up, that is actually a man raping another man. And they would do that to the Black slave to incite fear on those who were in the plantation, because they had to watch men, children, and women had to sit there and watch them, other white slave masters, rape Black men. And they would make them dress in a way at times. And that was to exert power and exert fear. And so Black woman pregnant with a child, with a boom, whatever that woman goes through, any woman, whatever they go through with a baby in their feet, with a fetus in there, whatever they're going through, that is attached to that baby. So whatever that she feels and goes through, so does that child. And when they did that, they would incite fear in the woman, who also would incite fear in the child. And the fear was the slave master, he who was in charge. And they did that. And they just doing that, dressing up to like a woman back then. You have to think about all of those things. And that's what they've done. And so it goes further back than just what they put in the movie. That's why it was so easy to put it in the movie and into film back then with Flip Wilson and them. It was so easy because they were already portraying that. And it was something done, and blackface and all those things. All those things had come from an era way before we started seeing it as, okay, I can use this entertainment to get into the business. You know what I'm saying? Grand Rise, it's you, Antoinette. And so we got to look at it like that. And we have to remember that, these situations don't just pop up. You know what I mean? These were things that was well thought through, and it's horrible. But Tyler Perry is responsible for putting Big Mama back in the house. And I hope that made people sit together as a family and look more to who Big Mama was, even if Big Mama is not of the same age or stature as the Big Mama in the film. Who is Big Mama? Big Mama is Madea, Kendra, and Madea was playing the role of the grandmother who from back in the day. And that leads back from slavery up until now. There was always a strong woman within the household. And that was always Big Mama. They call grandma Big Mama, right? That's Big Mama. And that Big Mama's presence in the household in the Black community had faded. And people say, oh, because young people start having children. No, that's a lie. Young children have been having children. That has nothing to do with it. It's the idea of what a household is like. It's the whole women's rights movement. Sisters that are in here, Black women that are in here, listen, I want you to hear this. The women's rights, that whole movement had nothing to do with Black women. Black men couldn't tell you what to do then, and they damn sure can't tell you what to do now. They did not. They built that on your back. Your support helped them push that. Okay, black women, you was wanting the man to come home. White women had men coming home, but just was being, you stay your ass in this house. That's just what it was. That was built on the back of black women. That whole movement. Yes, it helped you in a lot of ways. I'm grateful for that. I love to see women as entrepreneurs and holding down households and doing anything. Amazing thing. Amazing. Amazing. But that movement had nothing to do with you. It was not your movement. You grabbed onto it, but it was nothing to do with you. Nothing. You was always Big Mama, right? You was Big Mama during slavery time. There was a Big Mama in the house. You know what I'm saying? That's just what it was. You know what I'm saying? It's all good, AJ. I'll get you on tomorrow. No, not tomorrow. I'll get you on Wednesday. I'll get you on Wednesday because we're getting out of here in a minute. But that's just what we don't dissect what was given to us. We just take it for what it was. We just take it for what it was and we just run with it. And we miss a lot in doing so. We miss entirely too much in doing so. Maybe they meant Martin Lawrence Big Mama. And now Martin Lawrence Big Mama was different, Natalie, in the sense because Martin Lawrence Big Mama was it was a fictional character. It was, but let's look at it like this too. Let me retract that statement, because even that Big Mama was still running a household. Think about it. She was still running a household. She was still a big fixation in the church, right? She had a position in the church. The pastor came over and ate Sunday dinner at her home, right? So when she said, "No, Sherry, don't leave. You just got here. I miss you." She was still that big. Everybody, when Big Mama spoke, everybody listened. So even in that, it was what it was. It was what it was. So yeah, that's what we're talking about too. Even Martin did that. Great idea. I'm glad you brought that up. They just said the women's movement was to separate black women from the civil rights movement. Come on, AJ. And they wanted, white women wanted to have the rights that white men had, right? Let's take black people out of that whole women's right movement, because that didn't have nothing to do with black women. Like I said before, they just saw the power in numbers. But white women wanted what white men had. They wanted what white men had. You know what I'm saying? And they fought for that by grabbing onto the black women and say, "Hey, sister girl, come on, let's do this." That's the reality situation. There's no getting around it. Now, I agree. That's why communication is great, along with speaking, listening to the creators when available. Absolutely, Natalie. Absolutely. Absolutely. We have to get to the point where we listen without emotion. We never know people's true intentions. Absolutely. We have to listen without emotion. We have to listen without having a response or being prepared to respond. I had to learn that the hard way with my daughter. I had to learn that. And she told me, "Daddy, I just need you to listen." And I began to listen. And in listening to her, I saved my baby girl's life. We have a beautiful book because I want her to know that her life meant more. She was going through something so heavy. Okay. And although she had both her grandmas around, she didn't have had neither her grandfathers around, but she had dad. Dad was not going anywhere. Dad is still not going anywhere. Dad is always going to be here. And I had to listen to my baby girl fight demons and demeanors that she couldn't overcome. And I couldn't tell her how to overcome. She had to work through it. And I sat with her and I listened to her and allowed her to text me, and I text her right back. She didn't want to say anything, so I just wanted to text. In fact, she still texts a lot, but that's what she needed to do for her. And I listened. And even when I felt like I should have something to say, I just shut the hell up and I just listened, and I took in everything that she gave. And after she came out on the other side, man, she said, "Dad, you did the one thing that people don't do, and that's listen to their children." And it just made my life it just turned it. And part of what I want to do with her is allow her to work on that platform so she can speak for that. I want her to do that. And just waiting for her to get ready, because I'm not going to push her out there, but I want to put her on my platform to do that. So she can talk to teenagers that are going through what she went through, what she overcame. and be that light for them. I told her, I said, I'm not going to push you out there, baby girl, but this is something that you need to do. You need to have these discussions because there are teenagers who will listen because you went through it, and they don't want to hear from me, somebody old like I am. They want to hear from somebody who just went through it and got over it. Yes, I do that too. Sometimes it's good to just, yes, it's good to just listen. Civil rights was all inclusive. White women would have earned the same as black women. Yeah, you're right, Mike. That is understandable. When most men want to fix the issue, not a bad thing. It's natural. Overcoming together and listening. That's what I'm walking away with. Yeah, and Kendra, and I'll speak for men, right? And this might not be for every man, but in general, men are always called to come be a fixer of things. We're taught, you're the man, you're supposed to this, that, and the third. And so men are developed naturally adopting this thing because it's something that we're told all the time. We're supposed to fix shit. You know what I mean? We're not told that we don't always have the answers. We're not told that often enough. We're not told to not look for answers all the time. Sometimes that ain't for you to answer, but we're not told that. So the whole man up phrase, we're given this shit to run with, and with no sense of how to run with it. You know what I'm saying? It's like you go, okay, yeah, I'm gonna run the 4x4 relay, and all they do, they just put sneakers on, your little outfit on, and hand you baton. Well, if you leave from one mark to the next mark, and all you do is hand off the baton, then you ain't did shit. You understand what I'm saying? And so there's some things that gotta happen in between it. You gotta breathe in your nose and out your mouth. You got to keep your lungs expanded. You got to control your pace when you're running. How many steps does it take for me to get here? Shit, if I'm going 15 paces, what if I cut that down to 12? If I cut that down to 13, how much? You know what I'm saying? We're not taught how to get to the destination. We just taught that we're supposed to be the reason we get to the destination. And then we just hand the baton. But if you ain't learned shit along that ride, you in trouble. Only thing you handing on is the same shit you carry from the start. You know what I'm saying? And then what he gonna do? He gonna take the same baton and run to the next and hand it off. And run to the next and hand it off. Now you done ran full circle and you're right back to square one. We're gonna race again next week. And that's the cycle. Because you ain't learned shit. You ain't sat still. You didn't go watch film and see how this guy, it took him 15 stretches. It took this one 11 stretches. We don't look at that. Okay, if I'm running and he's 6'9" and I'm 5'9", he's got a whole foot on me. So that means he can take one step that's gonna make up two of mine. So I gotta make up. How do I make up space for that? Maybe I double up my steps so I can get more on the ground to get. You know what I'm saying? We gotta learn how to decipher this shit. But we're not. We're taught to just listen, man up. I'll give anybody a chance to tell me how to understand what man up means. How do you man up? What the hell does that mean? Man up, man up, man up. Take that phrase and throw it out the window. Listen, y'all, it has been a blessing. Our hour is up. I hate when I get fired up because our hour is up. But listen, I love you to life and back. You were created with everything you need to be amazing. Today is your moment to be amazing. You have everything you need to be just that. You even have everything you need to love yourself. And you know, when you begin to love yourself, you begin to show this entire world how to love you and how they should love themselves and what you can do in order to be loved and to receive love and to give love. I challenge you today to be greater than you was yesterday, to be better than you were yesterday. You have everything you need to do so, everything you need to be amazing. So step out today. Go ahead and be your amazing self. You are created perfectly in the image that your creator created you. And nobody else can take that from you. There can never be another you. Only you. I love y'all. Y'all be blessed. Y'all be peace. We're going to Comedian Stefan on Instagram. Comedian Stefan. We're going to this page. Praise and worship. We're having a good time. Fellowship over there. I will see y'all there, man. I love y'all so much. Y'all be blessed. I'll see y'all tomorrow morning. I got a dope show for y'all. Be here tomorrow morning. Y'all will be so ready for tomorrow. Y'all be good. Peace and love.